What's going on, everybody? This is Ross of the Burbank Misfits. And of course, I'm always joined with my wonderful, brilliant, excellent co host, CW.
Oh, you're so what's the word? Kind.
Yeah, I'm that word. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hope it's not a bad word you're thinking of. And we have a great guest for y'all to get today. Someone I've known for a little while and is always a great pleasure to talk to because they just full of energy and they're a very interesting person. And I'm looking forward to all they do in this wonderful, brilliant industry that we're in. Mr. Leo Weiss. How you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm good. How's everyone doing?
You know, honestly, I am really, really exhausted. And I've been getting, and ever since I've gotten up, I've been sitting out stuff for like contracts and bills and stuff like that. And as soon as I get off of here, I have to do the exact same thing. Fun day ahead.
Yeah, we might be in this industry, but we still got to deal with real world sometimes, and that's just never fun.
Yeah, real world sucks. The TV show and reality. Oh my god. So for everybody out there who don't know who you are, who is Leo Weiss?
Who is Leo Weiss? I am a new up and coming adult entertainer. I guess the thing that most people would notice immediately is that I am one of the few Asian male performers in this industry.
You are?
If you can't tell here, right? And as of right now, we are in a golden age of Asian male performers in the industry. There's more now than there's ever been in the history of the industry. Two of us. So, kind of a big deal.
I was telling someone the other day.
Tell them all on Nightcrawler's hand.
I was telling someone yesterday about you and because I was telling them I was interviewing you, and I was saying, yeah, he's like one of the few because it's only you because you're in LA,
right?
And David's in Vegas,
right?
And I'm like, there you go. You have one. You want an Asian talent, and you are in LA. You got one right here who is ready and willing right now, just ready to go around. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue.
Oh no. I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, that's probably that's the main reason people would be interested in hearing me here is because of my work in adult entertainment and all that stuff. But I mean, I've had a life before this. I got into this industry kind of late, so I lived a full life. I've done stuff before this, but I don't know how much people are interested in hearing about that part of my life.
I mean, this is all about you. Like they're coming for you, so they might be interested. They might say,
maybe, possibly.
I mean, because honestly, like people who came on here have talked about anime and have talked about food they enjoy to eat,
right?
And weird stuff like about
Well, a lot of people talk about the stuff they do outside of this. Like we've had aerialists, people who are really into plants. Yeah, plants.
Gotcha.
Yeah. People that are into various forms of fungus. People who just are into pee too.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. It isn't like I've learned
people
it is a lot of people. It's a lot of people into pee and puke that I would not expect that would be into pee and puke.
Not the pee and pee that Rockstar usually engages in, right, Rockstar?
What now?
Right? That's not the usual pee and pee you do, right? It's the other one, right?
You lost me. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we'll talk about it later.
Let's go. Yeah, just calling you out on something. It's cool. It's fine.
Apparently he is, and I'm just probably too tired to understand what he's talking about.
I feel honestly, yeah, though that is actually a surprise to me too. I feel like apparently it's something way more common that people just don't talk about openly because I'm actually surprised by some of the people that I'm finding out that's like, oh, you're really into that kind of you're really into making that kind of content. I didn't know.
It's a lot. You're like, wow. But I guess you wouldn't want to Yeah, I guess you're like,
publicize
hey,
it.
how you doing? And like, yeah, I love getting pissed on.
Right. Like, how do you start that conversation, really, right? Like,
Honestly, it's only been one performer.
You can finish the rest of that blunt. You good?
It's only one performer that I've met in person that within the first 10 minutes, this is not on the podcast, this is just in regular everyday life,
right.
that I discovered that they are into the most kinkiest, weirdest, extreme stuff. And like the girl herself, she looks like one of the most innocent girls you can meet. And it's like, oh my God, you're into that and that. I'm talking about Natalie Brooks, Nasty Nat.
Oh.
I was like, wow, like that's extreme. Okay.
And I mean, honestly, that's one of those things about this industry that it's like, people aren't exactly what they look like. You know what I mean? Like when you get to know people, you're like, some of the most innocent people that look, some people that look the most innocent are into some of the gnarliest, kinkiest shit. And some of the people that you might think is like a bimbo actually are really fucking intelligent, right? Like you just don't know when you're watching their scenes because all we're showing is sex. But when you get to talk to people and get to know them, you're like, holy shit, you are not the person I thought you would be, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And I've learned that over the decade or so that I've been around these people. It's like, oh, really? And that's another reason I can't watch a lot of my friends anymore.
Oh, right.
Because I've discovered their other side. And I remember me and CW had a conversation with somebody who wanted to be a therapist. They were in school for therapy. It was like, now I can't watch you because I can just picture you judging me, just sitting back watching you.
I mean, I don't feel like they're judging me, but it starts.
No. I mean, it's like you, like, depending on how you sit when you do whatever.
Right.
If you're watching them, it's like you're already laying down on a couch, whatever, and they're doing a thing, whatever. So you're already in the position of a therapy, and it's like judgment. But let's go ahead. What made you want to enter the industry?
Oh man, I get asked this one a lot, and it's a really kind of a tricky one because there's so many different reasons why I ended up here, right? One of them for sure is that there was just an absolute lack of Asian representation in adult entertainment and just a lack of positive Asian male representation and sexuality in Western media in general, right? Like, and not just talking about porn, but like even on Hollywood, television, all that stuff. So that's a huge factor to be like, hey, be the change you want to see in the world. If you want positive representation of people that look like me, might as well be that person who goes out there to do positive representation. The other part of it is also, before this, I was in the corporate world. I worked in the video game industry for 6.5 years before I came into this industry. And, as much fun as it sounds like to be in the video game industry, you learn real quick, like video games are cool. Corporate world sucks, right? So part of me getting into this was also me trying to escape the corporate grind because after that experience, like I had some good times for sure, but I definitely don't want to go back to the corporate grind again, So,
but you don't like crunch time?
Oh, nah. Yeah. The fucking 12 to 14-hour days until my hair starts falling out was not fun. Like, wow. But I will say the paychecks were nice during those times though, Yeah. But then for my stress relief, I would just blow the money at the fucking strip club. So it's like, I really wasn't getting paid extra. I just got some more titties in my face.
Well, now you get titties in your face and get paid for it.
Or exactly, right? Like, now I'm getting paid to get titties in my face. Like, fuck yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, because like I think I've said before, like it's such a negative connotation that people usually have with Asians in general, and it's really bad, and it's so many stereotypes that people go throughout there, and it's really good to see people who are Asians who are in America compared to just these things that are done overseas, whatever. And like it shows like a good positive representation of the performers,
Oh yeah.
It's so few of y'all out here, and it's like
yeah. Yeah, I think when I noticed that, like just a few years ago, like on regular television, like I was like, you know what you never see? you never see like sex scenes with like Asian men.
Right. I mean, like,
and
remember when The Walking Dead came out and Glenn had that one with Maggie? That was like a big deal. And it's like, that shouldn't, I mean, like, as much of a big deal as it was, it should have been normal. That shouldn't have been the first time we saw that. You know?
I think I've seen this.
Right.
And like, I remember reading an article that was speaking negative about Asian men, and it was just like, this shouldn't even be a thing,
right?
Because it was about most desirable people, and they were ranking or whatever. And yeah, and they always put like Asian women like in that top.
Well, who are you asking?
This was from an article I read.
No, I think I know what you're talking about. It's like they did like it's like a study of data from like Tinder and dating apps and stuff, and it's like Black women and Asian men are on the bottom of desirability according to the statistics, and it's like white men and Asian women are like up at the top, right?
Yeah. And I was like, it was very interesting, because I'm like, and the thing is, like, that what media perpetuates, that Asian men are good to be around, but they're not the ideal characters that you ideally want.
Right.
And it's really bad, because like they gotta live too now. Come on now. Like people want Asian men. People enjoy Asian men, and it's just a lot of negative stuff out there about you all, and that's horrible.
No, right, and it's a thing to remind people too that like these stereotypes didn't just come up recently, right? Like this isn't something that just popped up because of COVID and whatnot. Like anti-Asian sentiment has been going on for a long time, right? Ever since like way back in the day, those the Chinese Exclusion Act, where the only people ever legally said that couldn't be American citizens were Chinese people. Like there's been anti-Asian like thread throughout.
That was from World War II, right?
No, that's the Japanese internment one. This was from before World War II.
That was before, yeah.
Yeah, this was like way before World War II. So like I said, like anti-Asian sentiment has been going on for a long time. The not getting into too much in the specifics, but like the town I grew up in, I grew up there, lived there for a long time, like 15 something years. And I didn't find out until just this year that there used to be a Chinatown in the town that I grew up in that was burned to the ground by the white people because anti-Asian sentiment, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's horrible. It's
right. And I mean, it happened way before I moved there.
I'm trying to use kind words right now.
Right.
But
up, man.
It's really messed up, and it's every time something goes wrong in America. Every time something goes wrong in America, they immediately attack y'all or Islam, and it's horrible.
Right. Well, it's attacking the others, right? And just because we've been otherized, so it's very easy to make us the target, right? The same thing with Middle East and so forth. Like we're considered the others, and as long as we keep being considered the others, it's very easy to just say like they did that over there, those people, right?
Yeah, and it's like sometimes easier to pinpoint who those others are,
right?
Because of appearance and or
appearance, cultural issues, things like that.
Yeah, like culture things, or where am I looking for CW? Things that people do for religion,
right?
Well, I'm glad you are the positive representation in the industry, because we need more of that. And every time I've spoken to you, you always have that positive attitude, and it's just a pleasure to speak to you. And I know that you were walking around, just meeting everybody during you didn't get sick during X3, did you?
Nah. I've been the entire COVID time, I've been dodging it like the Matrix over here. Just like like it's been a couple years. I've gone to EDC. I've gone to some like conventions, festivals, and so forth. I've tested negative for just about I've tested negative every time except for one time I finally did test positive for COVID. I tested on a Friday to get ready for a shoot on Tuesday. They didn't call me until Sunday to say I tested positive for COVID. I had no like real symptoms though. So I tested again the next day on Monday, and that one came out negative. So that might've just been one false positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if you're catching a cold, in some ways, like the flu symptoms, whatever, they might suspect it's one of the thingies.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I just figured, it's like it's TTS runs so many tests that like maybe they just got something mixed up or cross contaminated or something, right? So there's,
Yeah, because I know a lot of people. So many people got sick, more so at the award show.
Oh yeah.
Than at the actual convention, and yeah, people are still sick from it today.
Oh yeah, it's crazy because it's like I was exposed to some of the people, but I still didn't catch it, right? But then I also got my booster shot the week before XBiz week, so I was like at peak immunity when going into XBiz week. You know what I mean?
I got mine on the 27th of December, so it's like 2 weeks before.
Right.
No,
so you should
not
be
2 weeks.
like you should be right in the window too. Like you should have been at like around peak immunity.
Yeah,
like
about 13 days beforehand.
Right.
So I was going into it fresh.
Exactly. I strategically planned this one. I was very adamant with my healthcare providers, like, yo, I need this now. Like,
yeah. You talk about EDC, like I know that's something that CW goes to a lot. That's his,
really?
That's his jam.
Oh, nice. Were you there this year?
Yeah. I was there this year. It was cool. It was chill. I thought it was gonna be colder than it was because how cold it was like when it was in May. But
right.
I had a good time. It was a little different vibe because I felt when they started just like giving away tickets towards the end. Just like I'm not complaining, but I get all kinds of people came instead of like the people that would usually go to EDC.
Oh, okay. I feel it.
So like
the vibes.
It had a it was still EDC, but then it had like I don't know if you've been to Hard, but like it had a Hard vibe.
Okay.
What was the one you went to that was out here?
Nocturnal.
Oh, how was that one?
Nocturnal was pretty good. It was good. I was it was pretty chill. My friend Liv revamped. She got her phone, something happened with her phone, but like that was resolved, so like it was pretty cool.
Oh, nice though. Yeah, I've been wanting to go to more raves and so forth. I mean, with COVID and all that, like I've been staying away from a lot of events, even though I just told you I've been going to events. But like I go to like some big ones where it's like, hey, like I really don't want to miss this, but for more like smaller things, I'm kind of like I'll go when things die down a little bit. But yeah, no, I had a great time at EDC though. Like I heard it wasn't nearly as many. It was my first time going this year. So from the people who normally go, they're saying there wasn't as many people at EDC as normally. But I actually thought that was a lot better though, because we weren't being squished all the time.
You get close to the stage,
right?
The lines weren't as bad. Like
you can get from set to set without fucking having to like just mob through an entire crowd the whole time.
Yeah, or you could move and dance.
Right.
It was nice. It was nice in that way.
Yeah, so I think that's like, it was good for me that was my first experience at EDC where it wasn't like super packed the entire time and just, trying to breathe like in the crowd and shit, right?
Yeah, I feel a little bad for people that got like VIP because the VIP was really toned down.
Right.
Just from the outside in, but like, it was really good. If it was your first one, that's a good one to start off. Like in the summer, it's like sometimes it's like blazing hot and then there's people.
Yeah, no, I definitely had a great time. I definitely plan on going back next year and trying to make it into a thing. Such a fun event.
Yeah, it's our fourth one.
Okay, nice. You're a veteran at this point.
Yeah, I guess so. Ray had here.
See, I'm not like I never been. I don't think I am one. Well, it's not my jam. But I know he really enjoys going to it.
I do. I love it. It's my thing to play.
I don't know, man. Like you should just go one time, go 1 year, just enjoy it.
Oh yeah. No, it's just not my not my type of music, not my type of crowd or atmosphere.
He's a lounge guy.
Gotcha.
I'm like, yeah.
I get that. I'm very much like that too, but occasionally I like to do these kind of events, you know what I mean? And again, it's not exactly my music either, but when you go with good friends, good vibes, good audience, like good things, like you're just having a good time. So
then I feel that if I'm there, I have to be higher or under the influence of something.
Oh yeah, I
Who
mean,
really
sobriety was a stranger to us that weekend. So,
and see, since I already don't drink, so it's like
oh, got you.
I would just have to be there like under something, and it just wouldn't be my jam. But I know, like I like people who go. I just hear they love it so much,
Right.
and I'm like I pre like go out, have fun, get do all what you got to do.
Yes.
Well, I don't know,
So
if you come with me, we could do a bunch of psychedelics, and then you'll have a whole life altering experience with me at EDC. Just like
I
get that ego death, Rostar.
exact. That's what I did on day one, and I just was good the rest of the trip, man. Like,
I have only ever partook in marijuana. I've never did any other things that to take you to a different land.
oh,
Yeah, I'm basic. So
nah,
it's
nothing wrong
only
with that.
only
But
only the 420.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I love psychedelics. It's the greatest vacation with myself I can give myself. You know what I mean? I mean,
Sometimes you're like,
I encourage
man,
a lot of people to explore it too.
you get to explore. You sometimes you're like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, and it's like, you know what, bro? And you're like, yeah, it's okay. You can be
Right.
overwhelmed. It's not your fault all the time. And you're like, you know what? I really don't give myself a break. And then you do, and you're like, wow, all I did was take these dried up like fucking things grown to shit.
Right. But I mean, that's truth, right? Because it's like it get the whole psychedelic, it gets your brain, it gets parts of your brain that don't normally communicate with each other to start communicating with each other more. And then that's how you end up with these like deeper, profound insights that you normally wouldn't achieve, because suddenly, the subconscious part of your brain is talking to another part of your brain. And then suddenly you realize you're like, oh shit, I've been looking at this the wrong way the entire time. If I look at it like this now makes way more sense. Like that's how you end up with these life-changing epiphanies,
Mm-hmm.
That's when shapes have colors. And looks purple.
So, Leo, so far, how's your experience been in this industry?
Oh man, my experience has been amazing in this industry. As we mentioned before, being one of the few Asian male performers, right? Like, so my journey has been much different than most other male performers' journey in this industry. So, if you're listening out there, my experience, my journey, and so forth, like, please don't think this is the norm. Mine has been the exception, not the norm. But pretty much, when I talk to people and network with them and so forth, and when I tell them pretty much like, I'm an Asian male talent, I'm more than willing to show my face on camera and willing to fuck on camera. When that combination of stuff comes out, and suddenly I get like red carpet treatment to all the industry stuff, right? Because it's so rare that there is Asian male talent that's willing to show their face and like embrace their Asianness and all that stuff. And because of that, like, I've gotten in and I feel like I've done more in a shorter amount of time than a lot of the male talents do until they like establish themselves into a more of a name brand kind of a place, right? So like with that, like I came out the gate swinging. With my first content like that I ever self-produced when I started this was with the Karma RX, right? And then throughout the times, like I've shot and done content and stuff with like pretty much porn royalty at this point.
Yeah, because you get shot with Kira,
right? And Anna Fox, and I was just with Lena Paul yesterday. So it's like, yo, dudes, there's lots of dudes in the industry that have been in there for a while and still haven't shot with like top talent like that. And I just kind of like walk my way right into it,
And I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean it's like you fulfill a niche that
right.
everybody wants, because I was like, when you say you want,
like, I don't know any of the Asian guys. There's two, and she's like, "Oh, I guess I got to meet them."
Yeah, because it's only two that I like, and I know Leo, but I never met David, and so it's like, and then it's one other person that I know that occasionally shoots, but he wears a mask and he doesn't show his face.
Right.
That's when you think about him, because he doesn't really show a lot because because he covers up
Right. Well,
everything.
I was gonna say though, like that's the thing is kind of like I guess a lot of people outside of the industry don't know, but like there are Asian men who are in the industry performing. They just don't show their face, so nobody knows that they're Asian men. So it doesn't really like count that they're Asian men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
Like,
just
like your Asianness
they're
doesn't
just
matter if
they're
always
just
sees
a
your dick,
penis,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah, they're just
True.
a
We're not-
penis.
Oh, yeah, that's an Asian dick. No, we don't.
like, nobody knows, nobody can tell,
don't
right? Like so yeah, like that's definitely something that that was a surprise to me when I got into the industry to find out like, oh shit, there's already Asian guys doing this regularly. It's just that again, they hide their Asianness. Nobody knows that they are, right?
And I feel that it goes back to that stereotype that
Right.
everybody assumes, and people don't understand that, like, and you realize that is a niche that people really enjoy,
Right.
and you could fulfill so many different avenues, whatever. And as you said, you're working with top tier, like I wouldn't say top tier talent because that's like lessening area of the female. You have done scenes with women who are at the top of the industry,
Right. Highly established career, like proven career, like talent,
Yeah, and sometimes their restrictions are higher than anything else, and you've been able to, and people who you worked with, like when I met, like when we were speaking to Kira, like she was singing your praises at that moment. So people once like are saying, okay, I enjoy working with this person, and
Right.
I more than likely will work with them again.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have these people who are like they're spreading your name around, they're putting you out there.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, that definitely makes a difference. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, you shot with this person. It's another to be like, yo, that person's been saying nothing but good things about you. Like, that's a whole nother level, right?
Yeah, because you don't normally get that. Because you get people
A lot of people shoot with a lot of people, and you never hear about it,
right?
Or you don't.
Mm.
I'm sorry. So what is your long-term goals for in this industry?
Long-term goals in this industry is, establish myself as a talent first, build myself up there to be considered one of the more like recognizable brands in the industry.
Mhm.
And then the long-term goal is that eventually continue creating my own platform, East Meets West, where I at least have like a website or something that emphasizes, not necessarily just Asian male talent, but like the underrepresented male talent, like the underrepresented male in Western society, right? So I mean, like I'm even open to extend this out to like Middle Eastern, Indian, like, people just like, there's attractive men in all different colors, shapes, sizes, whatever's, but we're just not, we don't get the shine in Western media because we've kind of been othered. We've been exoticized and like, so forth. And why not give them a platform, right? If there is a person who, you can do, if there's a person, this is your goal, this is your dream, you believe that you can do this and so forth, and you feel like the other sites won't give you the chance, I want to be able to create the platform to be like, yeah, let's get some new representation that, showcases people in a positive light that don't normally get showcased in masculine sexual situations in Western media. So that's kind of my end goal, is sort of just like, I don't want to say I'm kicking down a barrier because it doesn't really feel like there was a barrier, but just sort of showing everyone else that like, yo, it's possible. Like just because you hadn't seen us before in the past doesn't mean that people were holding us out. It's just that none of us are showing up.
It's more so like just revealing the veil.
Right, exactly.
Laying the veil down, people saying, we're here. People love us, people love to watch us, people respect us. Like we're like,
hey, if you're thinking about it, there's someone that's already out here, you can do it. Come on.
Right. And again, like there may have been gatekeepers keeping people out years ago in the industry, but the industry, evolves, changes, as different players, different people and stuff. And as of right now, there's nobody stopping us from getting in here. But it's kind of like, I think a lot of people don't see people that look like them in the industry. So they just assume the industry won't ever work with people that look like them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel it's more so like recently, like 2020, like even though it was a horrible year, it did open up so many different avenues
Right.
for many people because you know either these either they realize what they've been missing watching
Right.
or whatnot, whatever. It's like it was an emergence of so many great talent that came out for whatever reason.
Right.
And yeah.
Well,
And
it's like,
I
oh,
think
go on.
over I think over the years, like it's like as you said, it was all like it was mainly like one Asian that came in,
Right.
one Asian male talent that came in and they worked and then they just disappeared to obscurity. And it's like,
Right.
and now it's get like as I said earlier, like you're the LA person and David's the Vegas person, you know, and it's like
Yeah, and David's been
it's
working a lot. David's been working
yeah.
way more than I have for mainstream companies. So it's like it's not that, they're not hiring us. It's just we got to show up. Like,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but go ahead, try to interrupt you. Go ahead.
oh, my bad. Fuck. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit, my bad.
No, no, because I interrupted you. I didn't mean
Okay.
to do that. So I have a question then for you. So in your like because you say you joined early 2001, correct? Or
No. My whole journey has been kind of a weird one. So there's not exactly an exact moment when I joined the industry,
Mhm.
but I will say that it was last December is when I officially made my content public. So I'm gonna call that as when I officially joined about a year or so ago.
Okay, 2020. Okay,
Right.
it's last December is a month ago.
Okay. I mean, oh my bad. The December before that.
I'm like, wait a minute. I met you at XRCO, and I think that was in October.
I was just saying, like, the amount of things that I did in a month, guys, like it's revolutionary.
like wow, like it's not even a month yet. And he's
Right.
out with like
I got in and it's been a month and my dick's been really busy. Okay.
like dang. So since you've been around for a year, is there any talent that you haven't worked with yet that you would love to work with?
Oh, actually, this brings me right into what I was going to say earlier, and I just remember now. It was 2020 when COVID in 2020 hit. The entire industry pretty much had this weird shift, changing of the guards, right?
Mhm.
So all the big name people who were like performing regularly, shooting all this content stuff before COVID hit, all stepped away, and they all started doing their own personal like OF stuff. And then a whole new generation of performers came in. So it's like, all these, like, there's a bunch of empty thrones and crowns for titles in this industry because the former people were just like, they're doing their own personal stuff now. The circuit's a whole new audience of people shooting for studios. And, that brings me to now, it's like, who do I want to shoot? The people that I used to watch before I got into the industry, those are the ones I want to shoot with. And a lot of them got out of the industry, So it's like, yeah, like the people that I really, really wanted to look forward to like working with, COVID hit, and then they're just now doing their own thing. And it's like, well, I can't shoot with those people. Like they're not in the circuit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, you can also see that question as new and old talent that
Right.
if they were in the industry still in the industry right now or whatever, what top five who's in your top five that you haven't performed yet?
Shit. There's so many gorgeous, attractive women in this industry. I'm just gonna say right off the bat, Gina Valentina was one of my like biggest crushes. She is so hot. I was a fan of Riley Reid as well. She has that sort of like a mischievous sort of innocence to her, even though it's fucking Riley Reid, right? And also, surprisingly, of all the avians I've been to, I've still never actually met her because every single time I've been to one, the line for her has been like around the entire fucking building. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, those are like two right there. I mean, we're talking about both current and like semi-retired, whatever's. Big fan of Sky Blue. She's gorgeous. Shoot. Again, I'm like, this is just me just listing names of people that I want to work with because at this point, like, there's so many of them. There's so.
No, I understand
many
because I know like some people have their their top five, the people who they haven't had the opportunity to work with.
Right.
And then some people who like, as you said earlier, like you've worked with some of the top talent already. So
Right.
you would limit like you like, well, I have had the opportunity to work with blah 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 blah. And it was a great scene, and like I would gladly do it again. You know?
Right. Because I mean, it's, you know, one of those things I was like, yeah, I would have thrown Kira Noor on that list, except that we just worked together like a week ago. So it's, you know, it's like this thing's constantly changing, and people that I never imagined I'd be working with, I do. And then people that, you know, it's been a wild ride, honestly. There's no I can't predict any of this stuff really.
Well, I'm glad that it's going in a positive direction, especially since the last 2 years were basically a cluster fudge of nonsense.
Right.
Oh my God. And it's still bad, but it's not as horrible as it was.
I think we finally, after like 2 years, we just adjusted to this new, like, this is just the way life is now. I mean, obviously we probably could have done a lot better, but at this point, I think we've all finally okay, I'm just changing. We all finally got adjusted to the new normal, right? The new life that we live now. Like, because I mean, the reality is the world, the globe, the entire planet collectively went through a universal collective trauma all at once, and nobody really talked about it. Like, we talked about the virus, the disease, and all this other stuff, but nobody ever talked about the actual trauma of like, yo, the world changed literally overnight, and we're just pretending like we didn't. Like,
yeah, it just seems like things that could go down like 2 years. Yeah, 2 years ago today couldn't go down 2 years ago. Can't go down now. You know, and then like it's just crazy to think about, like, yeah, it's just crazy to think about like stuff you took for granted.
Right.
That is just wow. I can't even
like before COVID, you can meet a person at a bar and like make out with them. Now it's like, yeah, no, we're gonna elbow bump, and that's like that. You know what I mean?
Like, you still can, but
I mean,
you shouldn't.
Exactly right.
You shouldn't, but people still go like. Somebody's just waking up now. They spoke with somebody they met at the bar last night. So,
well, I mean, but that's, you know what I'm saying? It's like you could, but the social norms have changed, right? Like, it's now a whole different situation. Like, you know, it's just, it's weird. Just the way that we act, the way that we are, just all these things, right? Like, now it's just normal to keep 6 foot away from somebody that you don't know, when in the past you'd be like, oh no, close the gap, right? Close the distance. Yeah. Like,
oh yeah. Not hug, not touch.
Right.
Hey, head nod.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you just, someone could be just clearing their throat, and it's like,
right. It's like, yeah, like coughing now is more socially taboo than like burping and farting, right? Like,
yeah, it's like a danger zone now, especially when it was so many different variants, and you don't, yeah.
Well, it's like, yeah, like if someone farts, it might smell bad, but if someone coughs, you might die. So we're just kind of like, oh shit, right? Like,
I mean, some farts are deadly.
Oh, sure.
But I'm just saying. But yeah, you're right, and it's just scary out here. But I'm glad that it's gotten a lot better than what it was.
Right,
It's horrendous for a while.
I feel a little bit safer being in this industry while this is going on, because we test so much that it's like, okay, I feel pretty confident. I feel pretty comfortable getting in intimate like proximity with the performers, because again, we're all testing so much, and I'm hoping that they're, you know, being responsible outside of work and trying to stay within like a fairly closed circuit, because that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I know I'm not going to say names, but I know there's a lot of people who are in the industry that are anti everything, anti-vaccine, stuff like that. And it's like, it's very interesting to see who is, and you know who they are and how they interact with people. True. And then like people who you know are vaxxed and all that stuff like that, and how they interact. You can see the comfort, the concern level on everything.
Right.
And I know because I went to CET recently, and I seen that it was like a very small number of people who wanted to sit next to each other, even in CET, that testing center, and it's very, you can see who really want to make sure that they stay healthy, because
Right.
if you get sick, you can't work.
Oh yeah. And especially right now, I mean, like we're hearing the rumors of like, people popping positive left and right. And it's like shoots are being canceled left and right. Like it's not even just the performers, it's the directors and the crew that's catching it too. So shoots are getting canceled for those reasons as well. It's like, it's affecting everyone's money right now, right?
Yeah. And it's like, if you know, like, and this is just in my sense, if you know your job, like, and this is the only thing that you do nothing else. Your job depends on you being healthy, you making sure that everything is negative,
right?
For you to work. Why don't you go through it then, like the extra step for the little COVID thing that that is around, whatever, to make sure that's good, because you can like save everything else by just not having sex with everybody, that to make sure that's all negative. But when it comes to general health, you can't work if you test positive for this. You can complain about it,
Right.
but it's your fault because you're not taking the necessary actions to ensure your safety.
Right. I mean, but it's well, I don't want to go so far as to say I mean, yeah, it's your fault if you're not doing all the necessary precautions that you can take. But
that's what I meant. There's people who are out here who I know,
because at
the
same time, like sometimes you catch COVID and it's not your fault, right? Just because you did everything you possibly could do. It's just this is a very infectious disease.
Yeah, that's what I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. What I meant was people who purposely don't care.
Right. Like there's a difference between like you did everything right and you still caught it versus you were very, very negligent in your precautions, and like now you're no surprise that you caught it, right? Like so there's like that, and then it's just also, I mean, but even the people who are anti-mask, anti-vax and so forth like that, they're still getting COVID tested fairly regularly to perform in this industry. So it's like, at least I can see there's some sort of record that you didn't got it recently.
I think they only did that because they have to for their work.
Oh, of course.
Like, if they didn't have to, they wouldn't do it.
Oh no, 100%. But I mean, like, hey, they had to, and then they got a test result, and I at least got to see, like, well, at least you didn't get in the last couple of days, right? Like,
yeah. So, and I'm glad that I just think that's ridiculous how much they charge for COVID testing at the Tyler Center. But I mean, I understand that it's necessary, but they are turning a profit on something that could be done for I think they charge what? I think it's like 30.
I think it's like 35, 40. No, I think it's like 30. I think it's 35, 40, because I remember I used to when I was producing my own content, I had to reimburse the talent for COVID tests, and I would just give them 40 for reimbursement.
Yeah,
so it's around there.
Yeah, 35, 40, and like you can get like one done either for free or for like less than $5, and it's like they are just turning a crazy profit. Well, just because they know that y'all need it. And
well, but then ridiculous. Like on the flip side, in the defense, I don't know exactly how much profit and so forth, but it's like we are getting the results back the very next day, and it's keeping it within it's keeping it within the performer database so that we can like cross check to make sure that no one's lying about it. So there is a little bit of, we're paying extra for that sort of safety and security, and also it's like like if you're on top of your shit as a performer, these are all tax write-offs. Like you get to claim all this medical stuff on your taxes in the year. So it does cost us money upfront out of pocket, but if you're like on top of your shit, got a good accountant and so forth, you get it back eventually through tax write-off,
Yeah, more so now, especially because they require y'all to have like an LLC, whatever.
Right.
Compared to how it used to be when you were just you.
Well, yeah, I think you can still technically do it as a as just an independent sole proprietor like business, but you should probably still do the LLC.
I mean, that's what I mean. Before it used to be like you just did it, and you did it through your agency, whatever, and so they got to write off more than you getting a write off, because some agencies used to pay for your talent testing, and
Okay.
either you had to pay them back for it, or they take it out of the money you made for a scene, whatever, or scenes, whatever, depending on how they split it up.
Okay.
But it's just like more so now. It's probably a little bit better because of tax purposes and stuff like
Right.
that. If you keep all your receipts and all your notices and stuff, many people don't do that. They just go with the flow.
I mean, a lot of people that come into this industry aren't told off the bat that when you come in, you're your own independent business. You're responsible to operate like a business. And a lot of people don't come in with the business mindset that like a business, you keep track of your paperwork, you keep track of your receipts, and get your tax exemptions and your write-offs and all your shit, and you take the benefits of being a business, right? And also with that is, it's like, even if you can operate in this without forming your own LLC, you probably really should, just so that you have some sort of separation between your business entity and your personal life. So that way, if shit does hit the fan, people will sue your business, not you personally. And these are just kind of things that, like, if you want to you should probably look into this if you're getting into the industry, just because, again, like,
In
you're
general,
now
yeah.
your own business. You're an independent contractor. You are responsible for your own shit.
Yeah, because you are you, like when you're home, but when
Right.
you go out to work, you are this entity, you
Right.
know,
Right.
and yeah, you don't want to be sued, because I've been sued. It's fun. It's fun to be sued.
No.
You know,
I,
even
I
even
mean,
even even if you get out of it, whatever, is very interesting on the many things that people will try to come out here to see you up on,
right.
and it's crazy stuff that it is some crazy stuff out here that performers can be sued for, and it's not even nothing to do with you.
Right. I mean,
And
that's the thing. Like, anybody can sue for any reason. Now, whether they win or not is a different story. But
yeah,
just the lawsuit itself is a fucking pain in the ass. It's a headache. It's a lot of stress. It's a whole fucking thing. Even if it's like there's no merit to it, just dealing with it itself is a fucking pain in the ass.
so yeah, so you are absolutely completely correct on that.
That's
So do
just
you
a little advice. Any new performers, listening to this, it's get your LLC set up and get that separation between work and personal.
so do you have any scenes and stuff that people like that haven't come out yet, that people should be looking forward to? No, this comes out like not this coming Monday, but the next Monday. So
Okay.
so it could be
Honestly,
scenes that just came out or coming out soon.
I don't know. I just started shooting for mainstream stuff right before the holiday season. So, like, I don't know when that stuff's gonna start coming out. So maybe that might come out. But for the most part, I've just been really busy because, December, January, like, things slow down a bit, right? Because everyone's doing holidays, then those expos, and then now we're dealing with COVID. So it's been pretty quiet for me recently. So I don't have anything major mainstream to like promote that's coming out soon. But I've been shooting a lot of good content, which I'm going to be relaunching my OF, and the people that I shoot the content with, they're probably going to have it up on their OF soon as well. And like I said, I've been shooting with some pretty top tier talent that, like, so really well established performers
Yeah.
that, like, I think people would be really excited when they see the content. It's just I don't have exact timeline either. I'm kind of reworking my whole thing right now on the side.
Understandable.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, I was telling my friend this yesterday, performing this yesterday, like a scene that you probably shot in December of 2021 may not come out until sometime in 2023, and it's ridiculous.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah. Wait, were you? I'm not sure if it was you. I think it was like the summer. Did you shoot with Lotus Lane?
Oh no, I didn't shoot with Lotus Lane, but I did. I worked with Anna Fox, and we did a art project for a fine art museum in Brooklyn, where we pretty much were skinny dipping in a saltwater pool and like making out and being like doing erotic art underwater.
Oh,
and
that's
Lotus was there. She set up the shoot for us. So that might be what you're talking about, because
Oh, yeah.
that's yeah.
I think that is.
Yeah,
He
and
was-
then that should
he
be
was-
that should be
he was-
coming up
he was-
in a
He was like, I've seen that scene already.
No,
yeah,
'cause
but
I
that's actually coming up.
remember
That's
having
gonna be in an art exhibit in Brooklyn in the end of January, beginning of February is when it's gonna go live to the public out there. So there's
cool.
that to look forward to. Like,
Boom. Perfect timing.
right.
See, that we have the inside scoop.
Yeah, I'm over here thinking about actual industry scenes, and I was like, oh, like I got this art thing that's coming up. That's fucking awesome, right? Like,
I'm like, I think I didn't heard about you before.
was also it's like the art exhibit still might be the only thing I could like show my parents, and even then it's still me naked with my dick in a fucking museum somewhere. Like,
I mean, but
it's art.
it's artistic.
right, exactly. It's art though.
It's artistic. It's not like you're yeah.
Yeah.
They're it's not like they're saying your O face.
No, but I do lick vagina underwater, so that is part of a thing.
Oh, well then.
I mean, they still don't see your O face. They just see your tongue.
Right. They didn't look at her O face. It's fine.
Maybe
Like,
discussion before.
yeah.
I mean, but thing is this is what I say, because like I know many performers whose parents are their managers,
Oh shit.
and like one I always seem to see that as weird, but on the other hand, I see it as parents who are just okay with whatever,
Right.
But I don't know if I had a daughter or son, whatever, I'd be supportive, but I don't think I could, manage their stuff or help them sell their stuff.
I'm in the same boat as you, like, because I've thought about this too. Right? I don't have kids, but I've always thought, like, if I do have kids, what would I think if they went the same route I did? And just like you, I'd be very supportive, but I'd be hands off on the career. Be like, yo, that's a you job,
Yeah.
right? Like you need to navigate your career. That's your life. I support what you do, but I'm not managing it. I'm not gonna tell you what, like.
I don't have a problem.
I've met I think she was either third or fourth generation porn star, and like it was just like everybody who in her generation, they all did porn. And I'm like, well, we know what your family is dedicated for, and
Right.
and she was saying that her family helped her get in, and I think she said one of them, I forget which one it was, had actually shot the photo she sent to the agency stuff.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
like, I couldn't do that with my daughter. I couldn't picture myself taking a picture of my child and then sending it to an agency.
Right. Well, who you should try to have on this show to talk about something about intergenerational porn careers and so forth is David Lee, actually.
Okay. I haven't met him yet. The thing is, like, many people who we've had on, I've either met them at least once, or they're sent here by one of the PR agencies,
Okay.
and or CW might know him, and and we have him on, whatever.
Mhm.
But like, I've never met him in person, and I
That's
know,
the same
like,
thing.
I know someone who you introduced me to is coming on in a few weeks, so
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that. Like, the person you introduced me to at X3,
Oh, nice.
Jasmine. So
Oh, sweet. Yeah, she's awesome.
so yeah, and the person who was the third or fourth generation, I know she's slowed down shooting a lot. I don't think I've heard about her doing anything since mid 2020, but I haven't looked. But yeah, and I'm like, fourth generation,
Right. That is a legacy right there.
That's a legacy. That's like if whoever she does end up having a child with, it's like, so are you okay with our daughter doing this for a living? And it's like a lineage thing now. It's like a rite of passage.
But at that point, like,
Work.
right. Well, I was saying, like, at that point, that many generations into it, like, do you just name them a porn star name right off the bat? Like,
Yeah. So every family gotta do them. So
Oh,
I'm not going
yeah,
to.
I'm not hating at
I'm
all.
not
You know
gonna
what I mean?
hate, but it's just
Like,
like, and I just think it's just, as I said before, it's just I can't see myself taking a picture of my child at a 18 plus, so they could send this to this, so they can work. I might be the best supporter. I might help you, get to LA to shoot whatever, but I'm
Oh,
not going to
right.
be
Papa
the one.
Monster, you're not trying to get this money.
CW, I'm sorry, but I want her to make money, but or him to make the money. But
You want
I
to
can't.
control her life.
No,
Just like
no,
Mac
no, no,
said
no.
in Varsity Blues. I don't want your life.
I just don't want to take the pictures. I don't want to take the pictures. I can't see myself doing that. It would just feel so weird.
Again, I'm like, I get you. Like, nothing against them doing it, but it'll just be like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be hands off on this one. This is a you project. Like,
Hire someone like her to do it.
Forget how we got here.
it's also, I mean, also it's like my parents are kind of hands off on me, and I feel like it's the same thing. It's like, you know what? You need to learn how to take your own pictures, because that's going to take, like, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, you teach a man a fish, they'll, eat forever. And it's the same thing with, it's like, you got to learn to do your own self photography, because you won't always have a photographer there when you need to get shit done, right? Like,
yeah,
that's right. Yeah, that's the perfect reason why not to do it. Yep. You need to learn how to do this yourself.
Exactly. Like, you at least know how to do this, so that when you hire people to do it, they're not bullshitting you, because you know what the fuck's going on. Like,
looks like garbage.
exactly. So you're absolutely correct. And I was trying to figure out how we got here, and it was the art exhibit.
Oh, right.
It said it's in New York, right?
Yeah, it should be in Brooklyn, I believe.
Okay.
I'm not sure the exact museum, though. That's the problem. But like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find it somewhere.
I mean, by the time this comes out, I'm sure you we publicizing. You'll be publishing it on your
socials and things like that.
This one comes out January 31st.
Oh, okay.
So, and you said it starts the end of January.
Yeah.
Or first week of February. So it's on display this week. So
pretty much, yeah.
So yeah, go to his social media, and it's probably right there right now. And he's probably publicizing it right now. And you can go check it out.
Right.
So
timing, awesome.
The perfect timing. It's fresh. You could be like, if it comes out the first week of February, you can be one of the first people to see it, and you're like, hey, I heard from the Mission Effect podcast that Leah Weiss is doing has some art out right now, and on Fox, and I would really love to see it. Like, how can I see this?
There we go.
But that's what's up, though. Oh God, I forgot how we got here. I lost my complete train of thought. So okay, we're talking about upcoming projects,
right?
Okay. So as far as upcoming things, you said you gotta wait for agencies and stuff to put it out there. Yeah. Or is there any companies who you have not shot with yet that you want to shoot with?
So many companies. Again, like, so for the first pretty much year or so of my career, I was self-producing. So I was just shooting for myself.
Okay.
So now that I'm finally getting into shooting for other people, I've barely scratched the surface of companies that I would like to work with.
Okay, you're still independent, right? Are you with an agency now?
Oh, I'm with an agency now. I'm with Sandra over at OC.
OC, okay.
Yeah. So
wow. It's like our last three guests were all
they've been really good to me. What's up?
Our last three guests were OC. Literally, our last three guests were all OC.
Except for Samantha. Like OC is one of the big ones at this point, right? Yeah. So they're like one of the top juggernauts of especially when it comes to male talent. They're like the agency for male talent.
Like Sandra's great. We had I've met her before, but yeah, she probably it's just like passing me, but
Yeah.
go ahead though. Go ahead.
Oh no, she's awesome. But yeah, I'm with OC, and then I think I met the people at Lust Cinema during X3 XBiz Week. So I think we're in talks to see if I could possibly shoot something for them. And I would very much love to, because I'm a big fan of Lust Cinema work. Um, I do. I mean, I want to shoot for Balesa House, Adult Time, and like all those companies, because I think they make really good, high quality, like movie type videos, right? And a lot of my branding and marketing is kind of catered towards a female audience, and I feel like those are big studios brands that also cater towards more of a female audience as well. So those are really good fits for me brand wise. But there's a lot of companies I would just love to work with, just because, you know, either just the experience of it, or the people that they cast, or just to work with certain directors. Like I would absolutely love to work with, you know, Ricky Greenwood on anything Mile High has, if he wants me on something. I would definitely love to work on a Casey Calvert project if possible, right? So there's so many things that I would love to do if given the opportunity and chance. I just hope that, you know, people give me an opportunity and a chance to do it.
I mean, via what you have been saying on the podcast, and from what I've been hearing from people in general, it seems like a lot of stuff is coming your way, and like because you were independent for a while, you notice it because other people of the caliber of talent that you're currently getting. And I mean, I was trying to say it like that. Caliber of talent that you're currently working with.
Right.
Currently getting, that just sounds that just sounded really, really dirty and mean.
Right.
But that you're currently working with, that you're a hot commodity.
Yeah, I mean, at least amongst the performers, right? Now,
and
just like the directors and producers,
you have that positive attitude, because a lot of people come in and they just feel that they're entitled to shoot, you want to shoot me, rather than, hey, you are a good performer, you have a good look, whatever, and I'm a good person, whatever, let's work,
right.
And people notice that, I'll say.
No, for sure. I think the more I'm in this, the more I'm meeting people and so forth, it's like attitude plays a big factor in whether or not people want to work with you, because you can have everything on paper, but if your attitude's bad and it comes to the set, it just ends up being bad shoot, because, like the vibe is off, right? Like, how do you expect to get the best out of your co-performer if your attitude is like not quite there and such? So yeah, I just try to keep a real positive attitude. And also, it's hard to have a negative attitude when, this is the job, right? Like
I mean,
it's hard to wake up being sad, to be like, oh no, I got to have sex with attractive women today. Oh, I don't want to do that.
You'll be surprised from.
I mean, true.
Things I've heard. I started doing stuff in the industry around 2008.
Okay.
So I've been around for a long.
Right.
That's almost 14 years now. And you'll be surprised at how some people feel about some of the females in this industry for different reasons. And it is really sad that this is the way that they feel about, just working with some of the most beautiful women in the world.
Right.
And,
I was talking about this just the other day too. And I think there is a certain thing to, like, what people don't realize is so much of the production is carried on the back of the male performers, right? That I completely understand where a lot of the male performers end up with this like ego, with this whole like mindset that they are the center of the porn universe, because so much of the shoot is the heavy lifting is done by the male talent. Even though we're not as appreciated by the general public when they're watching the content, because most people are watching it for the women. But I completely get where this mindset comes from. But at the same time, it's like, it sucks when you deal with people that have that mindset, because again, it's like the vibe is wrong, but they show up to work and they make it happen, right? So they keep getting more work.
Yeah, because like it's so many, it's so few male talent that are, actually working. And
Right.
then like as far as you just said, like if someone's watching a boy girl sing whatever, or boy girl 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 girl, or
Right,
whatever,
right.
the male himself, like he has to, stay hard and stay this whatever. He has to, how to cheat out
Right.
and stuff like that. And if they pop too early, the scene's dead, you know.
Right.
And like even though they want the girl to moan whatever, it's still, it still is required for the male to be there to, to illustrate the show,
Right.
because
And you-
because at the end of the day, most people who watch boy girl or boy whatever,
right.
like they pretend that penis is theirs
Right.
going into
Right.
that human. So they need a penis that, that
That they can live
hit
vicariously through, right? Like
that kind of looks like theirs just a little
right.
bit. So it's like that could
No,
be my
again,
that could be my dick.
I get that, because that's the reason I got into this industry, was that like, yo, I'm tired of having to constantly having to watch a white dude have sex with these women, pretend that's me while I'm jacking it, right? Like I'm pretty sure there's some Asian guys out there that really appreciate being like, okay, finally, someone that looks like me, so I can pretend that's me for once. Like,
Exactly. So you do you do hit upon that niche. And so
providing a
yeah,
very valuable service to the community over here.
exactly. You're you're the penis for the entire male
Right.
population. Yeah, like
Because
I just threw the world on your shoulder. You're the penis
I was
for
gonna say,
all.
man, like it's probably the reason I got back pains all the time, because when I'm out fucking, I got all of China on my back over here, all of Asia's on my back while I'm out here fucking. Like, that's a lot of burden, man. Like, my dick is out here representing 1.7 billion something people, man. That's hard work. Okay, that's stress.
I'm sorry. That's hilarious. Yeah, so oh my god, I have no idea what to say after that. That just threw me all off. We have reached our hour though.
Okay.
So please tell everybody where they can find you, where they can, watch your content. Like where can everybody get some Leo?
You know what? I just make it easy for everyone. You can just search me on Pornhub. Just search for Leo Vice on Pornhub. My profile pops up, my videos pop up. And then from my profile, you'll be able to find all my socials, my places to find me for other things. And I just do that so that, people don't accidentally run into a fake account or whatnot, because the stuff on my Pornhub profile, that is me. That is my official account. Those are my official socials. That is the safest place to get to me. So,
Okay. CW really quick.
And you can find me at CC Fitness LA, CC Fitness LA on Instagram and on Twitter, and CC Fitness on Facebook.
And ccfitnessla.com.
Oh yeah, there too.
You can find us. We are the Burbank Memphis on Instagram, Burbank Memphis on Twitter and on Twitter and Facebook, and burbankmemphis.com. That says everything that we do, from fitness, graphics, and all the other fun stuff. And I am just RAWSTARR on Instagram and on the Twitter. Again, thanks for coming on, Leo. You are an absolute joy. I had fun on this podcast, and I hope everybody out there goes out and checks out the exhibit this week. This week or the next week. Yeah, it should be around right now. Go out and check it out. Especially if you live in the New York area. And please go out and purchase Leo's content, and we'll see you all next week.